Reading can be challenging, especially when we only get to stay with a book for a couple of days or weeks. But what if you could read books over months and years? Boy, oh boy, do I have an app for you. What is up, YouTube? My name is Aidan Helfant. I am a freshman Cornell University student who makes videos on life advice as well as learning and fitness. Today we're going to be talking about my favorite app I have ever come across. That's right, this is my favorite app that I have, Readwise. How to consume with Readwise. Readwise is a magical app that allows you to facilitate information from books. What it does is surprisingly simple. It takes all of the highlights and notes from your media of consumption and consolidates them into one spot. It is after that you can do some magical things with it. I want to say before going forward that I don't affiliate with Readwise whatsoever. I just love the app and honestly believe that everyone should consider getting it, even for just a 1-month free trial. All you have to do is consume information in whatever way you want. You can use apps such as Kindle, Instapaper, Air, etc. As you use your apps of choice to consume information, make sure that your Readwise account syncs up with them. This will ensure that any highlights or notes you make will go to the app. While you read, highlight any particularly insightful information, things your future self might find helpful. You can develop whatever system you want. I like to put anything that I find interesting in yellow. I highlight stories or anecdotes in blue. Finally, I highlight studies in pink. It is essential that while you're highlighting this information in your apps, you use notes to contextualize it and connect it in whatever way necessary. The problem with highlights is that they often take the information completely out of context. So when you see it again, it makes no sense. To stop this from happening, make sure you use whatever note feature your app has to contextualize the information. For instance, if you're reading a study and highlighting it in pink, it would be helpful to name the study in your note and talk about the results found from its undertaking. It can also be highly beneficial to connect the information in these highlights as well. If you're reading something and realize that it relates perfectly to something you already know, put down a note discussing the fact. It works perfectly with the concept of elaboration talked about in the book Make It Stick. Elaboration is the process of connecting information we're learning now with the knowledge in our long-term memory. This connection facilitates the information you are learning now and the things you already learned in the past. How to use the Readwise daily email effectively. The next part of Readwise comes when these highlights get sent into the app. The main gimmick of Readwise is the daily Readwise email. This is an email that Readwise sends daily of 15 random highlights from every single piece of media that you've synced with the app. All you have to do is go into your email or the app every single day and go through your 15 highlights. As the highlights come up in your email, you can see the notes that you left while reading. This is why we made notes before, as it puts them into context so they make sense when you see them in the email. You can even edit the highlight and note in the Readwise email so it shows up like that in future emails. You can also click the button in the top right to modify the amount of times the book or article will show up in your Readwise email. You can also do this in the settings to get an even more comprehensive and customizable view. If you ever get sick of seeing a highlight, you can just click the big X and it won't show up again. The best part, however, comes with making the highlights into Mastery flashcards. Readwise allows you to do two things with Mastery flashcards. The first is to create a closed deletion. Closed deletions allow you to pick a word in the highlight and hide it from view. When this highlight shows up again, it becomes a literal flashcard as you try and remember what was under the blocked out text. Once you answer, you can pick when you want it to show up again based on how well you knew the information. Your other option is to make a question and answer. This option lets you make a question out of the highlight, which you can then formulate your own response to or use the original highlight as the answer. When it shows up again in future emails, it will pose the question to you and then ask you to figure out the solution. Similar to the closed deletion, you then pick how you want it to show up again based on your response. This works perfectly with the idea of spaced repetition and is why Readwise is my favorite app ever. By spacing out what you consume using these daily emails, you can learn information for the long term. The problem with books is that they're analogous to cramming if you only read them for a couple of days or weeks. Using Readwise allows you to read books and other information for the rest of your life. You will implement and learn vastly more than if you just consumed normally. Heck, to make matters even better, Readwise allows you to export its highlights to many other apps that have integrated with the Readwise system. They're working with apps such as Notion, Evernote, Rome Research, and a ton of others. As Readwise keeps trending in popularity, I am sure many more systems and cool ideas will come about. Even with what it has right now, it's 100% the best app I've ever used. I hope that you all consider using this app in the future, as it truly has changed my life. Its power is insane, and it doesn't take any extra work to use anyways. All you have to do is continue consuming information like normal, will yourself to read 15 highlights at some point in your day. You can find 10 minutes in your day. During your coffee break, for instance, or while you're going to the bathroom. Once you see the power it has to offer, you will want to do it anyways. All right, guys and gals, that is gonna wrap it on up. I hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure to check out my other content on the channel, as well as my blogging website, which hosts a plethora of other things as well. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. As always, I hope you have a fantastic day, and bye-bye.